So November INI-CET MDS is coming up in 150 days. All the aspirants who are eyeing this big exam, this session is for you. 150 days, 15 tips, one target. November INI-CET MDS 2024. So what are these 15 things that you need to know before you sit or prepare for this big exam? First thing is, you should know what the exam is. Alright, AIIMS always gives an academic calendar of all its exams in the beginning of the year. So according to this calendar, and usually these dates do not change, the date of the entrance exam will be 10th November, which is a Sunday. Alright, so today is 10th June, so 10th November, exactly 6 months, so 150 days. Result usually comes in 4 or 5 or 6 days, and these are the various institutes of national importance where you can get admission as a postgraduate. Alright, in MDS we don't have NIMHANS, we don't have SCTI but we have a lot of AIIMS. We have PGI Chandigarh, and this year there is one ortho seat in JIPMER also. So alright, various AIIMS to look for. Altogether there are around 35 to 40 seats. Sometimes it is 32, sometimes it is 41. So depend on what is the seat matrix. Around 35 to 40 seats are available for admission at various AIIMS, JIPMER and PGI Chandigarh. Alright, all these institutes are centrally funded institutes, and these institutes have a lot of say and role in various national oral health policies. So these are really important institutes as far as the government decision making is taking. So centrally funded, their stipend is nothing less than around 1 lakh per month. Okay, it is around 1.2 lakh, so it comes to around 20 lakh per annum, 20 to 22 lakh per annum. So this is the amount of money that you will be getting as a postgraduate if you get admission in any of these institutes, any of these. Alright, you will be able to save enough money by the end of your post-graduation that you can start your own practice, you can start your own clinic, you can full-fledgedly enter into the clinical world. Alright, so these are great institutes to learn, great institutes to earn, and great institutes to begin your career with. So all those who are preparing for it, understand that this is the amount of money that you will be getting. Alright, what will be the exam like? Understand the exam. It will be a 3 hours exam of 200 questions. No 7 type of questions will be asked, only 2 kinds of questions will be asked in the exam. One will be single best answer, another will be multiple correct answers. So there will be a question, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 options, and there will be A, 1, 2, 3 are correct, B, 3, 4, 5 are correct, like that. So you can't really bluff, you really need to have a correct decision making based on each of these options to come to an answer. So 2 kinds of questions and all the subjects will be asked. You will be awarded a 1 mark for a correct answer and a minus 1/3 for a wrong answer. Now here is a big difference between NEET and INI. In NEET, you get a negative of 1/4, whereas in INI you get a negative of 1/3, which is a much bigger negative. Alright, so the strategy becomes a little more smarter. In NEET you have 240 questions, whereas here you have only 200 questions. Okay, plus the unanswered questions or the questions which are marked for review are awarded 0 marks, whereas in NEET questions marked for review are evaluated. So these are the 3 big differences between NEET and INI. Alright, in NEET and INI, number of questions are 240, so more game, a bigger game, more chances to take guesses, a little more chance to bluff. INI only 200 questions, little less chance to take guesses. NEET minus 1/4 for a negative mark for a wrong answer, INI minus 1/3, so bigger negative marking. And in NEET, questions for review are evaluated, whereas in INI questions for review are not evaluated. So you can leave the question purple, green is marked, red is unmarked, and purple is for review. So even if it is purple, you have not gone back and put them red, it is okay. Alright? Another important thing about the exam is that the exam is divided into 4 sections. 4 timed sections. It's divided into 4 timed sections. Section A, B, C, D. Each section will be of 45 minutes, making it a total of 3 hours. And each section is going to carry 50 questions. And you can't come back from one section to another. You will be compulsory taking section A first or section 1. 45 minutes, do 50 questions. Automatically the section will change to section B. Again, you have 45 minutes for 50 questions. Going questions option C and section D. So there is no option of coming back to question number 1. You have to do the first 50 questions in 45 minutes. Section will change. Alright. So this is the pattern that INI is following. This is the pattern that NEET has copied now. But this is the pattern that is going on in INI. Also, I will tell the eligibility. Who all is eligible to take this exam? Okay. Current final years, current interns will not be eligible. Only the ones whose internship is finishing by 31st December 2024. Why is it so? Because the session starts on 1st January. The session starts on 1st January. That is why it is obvious that you have to finish your internships by 31st December. Only then you will be eligible for taking this exam. Alright, so this is about the INI-CET MDS exam. Now coming to point number 2, assess your preparation. Alright, just because everybody is taking the exam, don't jump into the bandwagon. Just because everybody is saying that the exam is very tough, don't leave the exam. You assess your preparation. If you have done or if you are about to finish all 19 subjects, one detailed reading. If you have done this or if you are about to do this in a few days, you should go for it. If you have done all 19 subjects one time, all you need to do is 2 to 3 revisions. And I will tell you in this session how you are supposed to do these 2 to 3 revisions. But revision is only possible if you have done all 19 subjects once. Okay, you might have taken some GTs. You take GTs and you evaluate your score. Sometimes the score is good. If the score is good, it gives you a lot of confidence that yes, I will take this exam. If your score is not good, sometimes you are disappointed that no, this exam is not for me. Yes, GTs are important. But at this stage, don't consider the GT score as the only criteria to let you decide whether you should take INI-CET or not. If you have done the 19 subjects one time, I think you should go for it. Alright? Based on these facts, take a decision. The exam fee is 4,000 rupees. It's not less. Even for the reserved category students, it is 3,000 something. Okay, only for the PWD candidates, it is free of cost. So think about before filling the exam form. Alright, the exam center are less than those in NEET. In NEET, there are a lot of centers. In INI, there are a lot of centers, but not as many as the ones in NEET. Alright, so you will be, spending 3 to 5 days for this exam, specifically for this exam. Preparation for this exam, broadly the preparation for INI and NEET is the same. Alright, but you have to decide whether your preparation will be focused on NEET only or your preparation will be for NEET followed by INI, or you want to take this INI because very few people are really prepared for November INI. Whether you want to give it a chance for this great government college seat and then also sit for NEET. This is the decision that you have to take. Alright, broadly, the preparation for NEET and INI is the same. But as the exam approaches, 3 months before exam, you have to do an exam specific preparation. Ortho will still be ortho, pedo will still be pedo, oral surgery will still be oral surgery. But there would be certain topics which are more important for INI, and there would be certain topics which are more important for NEET. You will have to take a calculated, decision whether you want to go for NEET first, then try for INI, or you really want to try out this INI, because November INI, very few people are prepared. A lot of children give it, very few people take the May INI, a lot of children give the November INI, but not everybody is that prepared. So you can give it a shot. Like I said, if you have done your 19 subjects reading one time at this point, not till the exam, at this point, if you're done with 19 subjects one time, you should try for it. Alright, the strategy will be slightly different, and I'll tell you how. So the third thing is, take this decision of what will be your exam giving pattern. NEET only, NEET followed by May INI next year, or November INI this year, and NEET 2025. Alright. Next, I will ask you to divide your time. Okay, how will you divide your time? I always split days. Okay, you have 150 days and 19 subjects to finish. So broadly, you have around 7 days per subject. Right? Plus, you will have around 15 to 17 extra days. So that's how you divide your time. Okay, in 7 days per subject, if you have done every subject one great reading, you can still split this 7 days into 2 revisions. Alright, these extra days, don't think these are extra days to waste. No, these are not extra days. These are very, very important, very, very useful days. They will be the ones who decide your rank. These 7 days per subject will decide whether you are able to even qualify or not. So whether you are able to qualify, these 7 days revision will decide. But what you do with those little extra days is what is going to decide your rank. Alright. Revision strategy will be, you have 7 days per subject. Alright. Just now we have calculated how we have 7 days. Split it into revision 1 and revision 2. Revision 1 give 4 days per subject. Revision 2 give 3 days per subject. Remember, it's a revision. You have already done one detailed reading of all the notes and all the question bank questions. You have marked the notes which you are forgetting. You have bookmarked the questions which you are forgetting. Now all you have to do is read only the marked things, and that is very well possible in 4 days in the first revision. Alright, this is how you have to divide your time between first and second revision. You can do it simultaneously, or preferably you can finish your first revision first, then go to your second revision. Coming to the first revision strategy. So if I take the timetable from 10th June, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4 days for anatomy. Next 4 days for an integrated subject. Now what is an integrated subject? Integrated subject means you combine a basic subject with a relatable clinical subject. How will that help? That will make your concepts rock solid. Unless and until you know the anatomy, you are not able to know surgery. So finish doing, suppose I am reading about the temporomandibular joint. Only if I know the anatomy of the joint, I will be able to understand arthrocentesis. Only if I know the anatomy of the femur, I will be able to know the free fibula flap, the fibula and tibia. I will be able to know the free fibula flap, peroneal vessels. Alright, so always club the integrated subjects. I will just erase this. You can all take a screenshot of this timetable. This is integrated subjects put together. I have put up anatomy with surgery, physio, patho, medicine. You can even put pharma here. DADH with cons endo. Only if you know the anatomy of the tooth, you will be able to know where is MB2, where is the cusp of carabali. Biochemistry, one subject which is just you have to put in somewhere. Dental materials, prosthodontics together. Micro and oral paths together. Okay, so like that you have to club the integrated subjects together. This is a very good way to remember the basics because these are not touchable. Clinical is touchable. You can bring together the touchable and the untouchable. Alright, so always club the integrated basic and clinical subjects together. Pharma with medicine. Patho, physio with medicine. Very good combination. Alright, so do the integrated subjects together. Second is, do not leave any test. Every Sunday, you have a subject-wise test. Do not leave any subject-wise test. Alright, that is the second important thing. Third thing is, save days. You can see here in the end, I have written around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. 1 week for backlog. If you are sincere, you will not let the backlog happen at all. Even if you have a backlog, finish it up in 1 or 2 days. Don't falter in your timetable. Whatever decision you have taken that I have to finish, do whatever is possible with you to finish it. Do everything and anything to finish it. Alright, save these days. Save these days in 2 ways. First is, I might feel that I don't need 4 days for physiology. I can finish it in say 3 days. DADH, I can finish it in 2 days. Biochemistry, I can finish it in 2 days. Whatever time you save from these subjects, prostho is very vast. I need 6 days instead of 4. Adjust your time. Say ortho is very, very vast. I need 5 days instead of 4. So like that, you have to save days in certain smaller subjects and adjust them with some bigger subjects. Whichever you feel are easy, save time there. Whichever you feel are difficult, add time there. I might feel that oral surgery is very easy for me. I can finish oral surgery in 3 days, just for an example. And I will use that 1 extra day in, say, prostho, which I feel is very difficult. Alright, so like that, save days from one subject and use that in the other subject. So from one subject to another subject. Secondly, whatever time you save ultimately in the first reading, save it for the third revision. Remember, very, very few students will be able to do a third revision. और जिसने कर लिया, INI-CET की सीट उसकी है. With first and second revision, like I said, you will be able to qualify. With that third revision, with those days that you save and you do extra more than your competitors, you will be able to get the seat. You will be able to get the rank. So these backlog days are not extra days to waste. These backlog days are for you to save for your very, very precious third revision. Coming to the second revision strategy, similarly divide your subjects in the same integrated manner, but 3 days per subject. Now you also have the grand tests. Grand tests are monthly tests of full syllabus. Don't get disappointed, don't get disheartened if your initial score is low. There are 6 months to go. In the first grand test, your score may be X. In the second grand test, it should be X plus 10. In the third grand test, it should be X plus 30. In the fourth grand test, it will get better. So don't worry. The first, second grand tests are where you have started. Don't worry about your rank or your score in the initial grand test. What is important is improvement. You should get better with every GT and take that GT. That is the most important thing. Alright. Again, I will say in second revision also, save days. These backlog days that you have saved, 7 days from there, 10 days, 11 days in total. Very, very crucial for the third revision, which is going to give you the seat. First and second revision will give you confidence. Third revision will give you a seat. It's not easy. I'm not saying that it is easy, but it is doable. Believe me, it is doable by all those students who have done their revision of all 19 subjects one time in depth. It is doable. Alright. Now you will ask me, ma'am, what should we do in the day? How will we split our day? Alright, so I'll give you a daily timetable also. Point number 8 is scheduling your day. Alright. So you can be a early riser, you can be an early bird, or you can be a night owl. You can be a late night study person, or you can be an early riser. In both cases, I will really recommend, don't get up later than 7 a.m. Even if you study till 1 a.m. in the night, you should make it a habit that at least by 7 a.m. you should get up. Now, why is this important? This is important because your exam will be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This will be your NEET exam time. This will be your INI-CET exam time. To reach the exam center, you need 1 hour. From wherever you are. There will be traffic, there will be this, there will be that. Plus, you have to reach the exam center by 8 a.m. latest. Otherwise, the gates will close and you will not be able to enter. 8 or 8:30 is the last time to enter. To be safe, you should be there at least 1 hour before the exam. So, to reach the exam center at 8 a.m., the last time that you should get up is 7 a.m. You will get up, you will take your bath, do the activities of daily living, take some breakfast and travel. So for that, you need to set your body clock. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि you all throughout the time you're getting up at 10 a.m. or exam के दिन suddenly you get up at 7 a.m. Your body will not be prepared for the exam. You have to make your body clock also set for the exam. Alright? So make it a habit. Whether you are an early riser, very good. You can get up at 5 a.m. Very nice. But even if you're a night owl studying till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I will not recommend a 3 a.m., 4 a.m. timetable. Slowly, all those who are reading till very late night should make it a habit to get up at least at 7 a.m. So sleep by 1. That's a realistic and that's a little suggestible. Although everybody is their own master and can modify their timetables according to your own body. So if you're an early bird, you get up at 5 to 5:30, you can do your break, your coffee, your washrooms and everything. 5:30 to 8:30. This is the first 3-hour slot. I will always recommend to study in 3-hour slots. Okay, so that in the exam also you have to sit at one place for 3 hours. Try to make that a habit. Okay, it's okay that if you have to get up at every 1 hour for 5 minutes, it's okay. But try to make a 3-hour slot a habit. 8:30 to 9, you can do your breakfast. 9 to 12, again another 3-hour slot. 12 to 12:30, you can have your coffee or tea or whatever break you want. 12:30 to 2 again, 1.5 hour you have given. Alright, so 2 to 3:30, you can take lunch and you can sleep. 30 minutes lunch, 1 hour sleep. Good enough? Saturated since the morning, 3, 6 and 7.5 hours you have done your study. Now you can sleep for 1 hour. 3:30 to say 6, 2.5 hours. Again, you give another reading. 6 to 10. Those who have live class can attend live class. Those who don't have live class, this is a great time to listen to the recorded videos. You can listen to the recorded videos at this time. Okay, I will tell you why. It's a 4-hour duration, but you get breaks in between. Alright? 10 to 10:30 or say 9:30 to 10. I will put this 9:30 here because mostly the classes end at 9:30. So 9:30 to 10, you can do your dinner. Okay? And 10 to 5, you can sleep. Okay? So this is around 7 hours of sleep in the night and 1 hour of sleep in the afternoon. So you get 8 hours of sleep. And still, you get 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hours of study. Very, very comfortably. Just if you are sincere enough to follow it. 8 hours of sleep is all that an adult body needs. Okay, you have enough time for all the meals. You have enough time to sleep, and rest you have to study. For INI, if you are really targeting this big exam, this is what your schedule should look like. Even if you are a night owl, instead of this 5:30 to 8 session, you can drag your session. Everything else remains the same. Instead of this first early session, you can do a 10 to 1 session. This will be where your last 3 hours will come. 10 to 1 a.m. The last 3 hours that the early risers are doing in the morning, you can do it in the night. That's the only difference. Otherwise, your timetable will be the same. When there is no live class, that day you will do your own self-study. Alright? Now, how will you divide your time? Always do. So, I will really recommend that always do active learning in the morning. Active learning in this morning slot. Okay, what is active learning? Notes. Any theory that you are doing. You have to be really fresh in your mind to do notes, to do theory. So do that in the morning. Do any tests in the morning, because tests will ultimately be there in the morning. Plus you need a lot of focus, a lot of attention to do tests. So all that you should be done in the first morning half. In the evening, do passive learning. What is passive learning? MCQs, PYQs. I'll write it here. Evening you should do questions. Okay, MCQs, PYQs. Jahan pe you have to just read. Okay, videos, live class. You have to listen and read passively. It is going to go into that sponge, into that gray matter automatically. You don't have to really make an effort. Okay, I will really recommend those who are taking the live class, don't make any notes. Notes are already there with you. Just concentrate on understanding. So in evenings, you should do your passive learning activities, and in the mornings, you should do your active learning activities like reading the notes, adding to your notes, taking the tests, and all those things. Alright. The next point is more weightage to MCQs. If I have to divide time between theory and questions, what is theory? Theory is your notes, synopsis, and videos. And questions means your question bank questions, previous year questions from 2014 to 2024, and tests. I will say 40%, 60%. This should be the division. Do more of questions. Spend more time on doing tests, PYQ papers, and question bank questions. It will create an aptitude of learning, which is really, really important. Point number 10, more weightage to clinical dental subjects. Now, INI will always surprise you, alright? INI will always be full of surprises. Like the last INI, it was a lot of biochem, physio, lot of patho, lot of micro. So the 100 questions of basic sciences were full of these subjects which are never ever given importance in our studies. Honestly speaking, these are very beautiful subjects, but we never give so much weightage to these subjects. Still, do you think these subjects questions, or very very difficult questions from these subjects, do you think they decide the rank? No. It is never the difficult questions which decide the rank. It is always and always the simple questions where you make silly mistakes. Oh, I knew this, I just made a mistake. These kind of questions always decide your rank. These questions will be from clinical dental science, which you will be able to mark. So give more weightage to clinical dental subjects. Ortho, prostho, endo, oral surgery, pedo, perio, OMR and PhD. Lot of importance to oral path these days. So this also, alright. These are your main subjects. It is very difficult to suddenly understand the histopathology of various diseases. It's okay. Do the PYQs, give more focus on the clinical dental subjects. These will be deciding your rank. So still, even if these questions are coming, it's okay. These will be difficult questions. Most of the students will either leave this question or mark it wrong. If you're leaving a question or if you're marking it wrong, that's not important. What is important is what you're marking correct, where you can go right. So focus on things where you can make correct answers. Alright? I'm not asking you to leave any subject. No, you cannot leave any subject. You have to do all the subjects, but more weightage to clinical dental subjects. Next point, more weightage to important topics. Now, if I talk about oral surgery, there are some topics which are, always in trend. Okay, like exodontia, LA, trauma, and pathology, as in maxillofacial pathology, treatment of ameloblastoma and all of that. So these are the things that you have been doing in your BDS. You have been doing in your internships, you have been doing extractions, local anesthesia, little bit of wirings here and there, and some small pathologies. So ये तो आपसे expect करेंगे कि आपको आना ही चाहिए. This you have to know. This will always be in trend. There will always be questions from these topics in oral surgery. Some topics are currently in trend. Whatever is going on in these institutes of national importance these days, they will put those questions in the exam. For example, in oral surgery, a lot of temporomandibular joint is being asked. Okay, internal derangement of TMJ, total joint replacements, okay, mytech sutures, lot of cheerleader syndromes and ICRs. So these are currently in trend. This you will understand if you do your PYQs properly, if you do your previous year questions properly, if you do your GTs properly. The GTs are made according to the trend in the previous year questions, mainly the latest questions. So you will know this current trend if you do the latest PYQs, alright? And certain things which are always in trend that you have to know. So that is how you know what are the more important topics. Just to make it easy for all of you, we have done this YouTube session on DBMCI MDS YouTube channel. You can all watch this, and we have done a most important MCQs in all the dental subjects on our YouTube channel. You can go there and watch these more important topics and give more attention to these topics when you are studying. Alright, so this is how you have to understand, giving more weightage to the important topics. Next is one of the most important things that will give you a seat. TTTT. Taking tests takes you to the top. Taking test takes you to the top. If an Olympic medalist wins a medal in running, it is not because he knows the theory of running, not at all. Yes, he knows the theory, he knows the rules, but that's not the reason he's winning. He's winning because he has run the race more than anybody else in the world. You have to run the race. And what is the race? The race is that test which you will take on 10th November. So practice taking that test as many times as possible. Take the weekly test on Sundays. Take the monthly tests, grand tests every month. We will soon have an INI specific, grand test series. You will all know about it. Take the grand test. Run the race. If you can run a race every second day, awesome. Run the race. Find time in your timetable that you do one test, at least one test every week. Alright, and as the exams come close by, whatever backlog days you have saved, do as many tests as possible. Alright, that's the key to success, and that's how you're going to, win. Alright. Mark smartly. Now this comes when you are, when you're towards the end of your preparation. Alright. There are 45-minute sections and 50 questions each. How will you mark smartly? In the first 35 minutes, you should be able to mark 40 questions with confidence. If you have used 35 minutes to mark 40 questions also, out of 50, 10 questions you are leaving. So out of 200, at least if you have marked 160 with confidence, you have a very good chance to get a seat. Alright. So if I talk about every section, take 35 minutes, and if you have marked 40 questions here, 40 here, 40 here, 40 here with confidence, it's a great thing. If the first section in 35 minutes you have marked 40 questions, in the next 15 minutes that is left with you, be very, very careful and mark only those questions where you are doubtful about two options. If you have not heard a question, if you have no idea about such options, it is always better to leave such a question. Don't take guesses in questions जिसको आपने सुना भी नहीं है. If you have marked 40 correctly, अगर आप 40 questions confidently mark कर रहे हो, you have a very good chance of that INI-CET seat. Alright? So now you just have to reduce your negative marking. How will you do it? In the last 15 minutes, come to the last 10 questions that you have left. In every section, you have to do it like that. These last 10 questions which you have marked for review or which you have not marked, mark only those questions where you are in doubt of two options. Very calculated risks, very smart judgment, mark it. Leave the questions where you are doubtful about 3 or more options. Leave it. So, out of 200, 160 you have marked correctly. Around 15 to 20 you have marked with doubt. Even if all of them are wrong, you will get around 150 score, which is a very decent score. Kuch to sahi honge hi na? So, like that, you have to mark smartly. That's a 13th point which I want to tell you for INI-CET. Next is, where will you have the confidence? These two things will give you the confidence that now I am ready. I can sit, I can fill the form, I can sit for the exam. As many tests as you give, the confidence level will rise. Initially it will be low, you can even be depressed, but slowly it will rise like anything. The more revisions you do, the confidence will rise. First revision, you will think I am forgetting everything. Let me go back. मैंने ortho पढ़ लिया. Now I am in prostho, I am forgetting ortho. I am in pedo, I am forgetting ortho prostho. Don't worry. Confidence will come with the third revision. Find time for it. First reading, little bit confidence. Second reading, that is your first revision, little more confidence. Second revision, you will be super confident. Don't worry about your forgetfulness. Everybody forgets. We are not superhumans. Nobody can remember 19 subjects absolutely perfectly. It's okay. Alright, just remember, all is well. Just keep going. Confidence will come, but it will take 1, 2 or 3 revisions depending on your memory power to get the confidence. It will come. Don't worry about where the confidence will come from. Alright? And last thing is, who stands with you? Sometimes you need a mentor, you need a guide to just tell you that everything is fine, you're doing okay. From 8:45 a.m. to 9 a.m. sharp every single day. Whether it is Saturday, whether it is Sunday, whether it is Holi, whether it is Diwali, whether it is Christmas, whether it is Eid. DBMCI MDS stands with you, holding your hand in the morning mentorship session. All our dear students are welcome in this session. We have a very good number in the session, number of students. It's constantly rising, and we welcome you all to these sessions where a senior faculty, most of the times it is either me or Dr. Aishwarya or Dr. Ruchi, Dr. Divya, some senior faculty is there with you to hold your hand and to tell you if you're doing something wrong or if you're doing something correctly, to give you confidence, to listen to your anxieties, to listen to your fears, and to help you get through this very difficult path happily. Alright? So these are the 15 things that you have to know for INI-CET preparation. If you don't know where to start with, we have a very good Advanced Plus version 2, 600 hours of lectures, all the subjects covered beautifully in just 25 to 30 hours. So you can just finish your whole subject syllabus in 2 days. Just if you listen to one subject faculty teaching you the recorded lecture, in 2 days, you can finish the recorded lecture listening and your syllabus is completed. In the next 4 days or in the next 2 days, you can do your question bank questions, and in 4 or 5 days, your subject revision is done. This is the beauty of Advanced Plus. Unlimited times you can listen to it. Unlimited hours you can listen to it on your phone, on your pads, on your laptops, wherever you want, any number of times. So in 2 days, you can really listen to the videos. Your notes are already provided to you, and you can finish your syllabus in 4 days. 2 days of lectures, 2 to 3 days of question bank questions, and you are done with the subject. That's how beautifully you can cover every subject in just 4 or 5 days. Alright? Along with that, there are a lot of tests available in eGurukul Advanced Plus. Every Sunday, there is a subject-wise test or an image-based test. Every month, there is a grand test, multiple mock tests as the INI comes up. You can check your performance. You can compare your rank with an all-India ranking, that where you are standing, what is your level at the current situation. And there are beautiful explanations which you can read at the end of the test so that your concepts get even stronger. Alright? So there are also the SR papers available. Sometimes some questions are picked up from the SR papers. So all SR papers which are curated and checked by the original gurus are available in the app. Last 10-year papers of both INI and NEET are available to you. You can read authentic papers without mistakes. You can read those papers and make your concepts even stronger. Alright, you get great quality notes along with this Advanced Plus version 2, both in soft and hard copy. And these are the costs. If you want to buy it for 6 months or 12 months, that's your choice. For INI, if you're only targeting INI, a 6 months access is more than enough. If you are targeting INI along with NEET, you should take a 12-month access and give it till INI, NEET and INI. Alright. So just remember, to succeed in life, all you need to remember is 2 things. Like Mark Twain has said, ignore negativity and have confidence in yourself. Ignore the people who are saying that you can't do it. People told me, you can't get into AIMS or Maulana Azad. They are for big people. It's not for people like you. I got into both AIMS and Maulana Azad. So ignore people who are naysayers, ignore your fears, ignore your own anxieties. Sometimes we ourselves are not confident that I don't know if I will be able to do it. Study. Study will give you that confidence. Spend 10, 12, 13, 14 hours with your books. It will give you that confidence that yes, I can do it. Anybody can do it. Alright? So ignore the negativities, ignore the negative people, and move ahead with confidence. If you still have any doubts, I am open to doubts. You can get connected with me on the Instagram, on our YouTube channel, on Telegram. I'll be very happy to help you. Alright? All the best to everybody for the INI-CET. Have a good day.